those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. That also includes any little ones. Be sure they stay seated too. But I will let you know it is a bit of a bumpy ride, so hang on tight to any of those loose objects. Now, to start off our journey, we're headed into the Little Missouri Forest. Here in the forest, these animals, they are more shy, so they're great at hiding. But if you look over to your right, the okapi. Now the okapi, they're especially great at hiding. They weren't officially discovered until 1901, the same year Walt Disney was born.
It's like half zebra, half
Before then,
horse.
they were considered a myth or a legend. That's because they could hide so well. So it's actually considered good luck when you see them. But you can see they do have some striped legs, kind of like a zebra. But their closest living relative is actually a giraffe. But those stripes, they help with camouflage. So when they stand in the brush, it mimics the sun shining through the trees. But all the animals in the forest have really great natural camouflage. That's why they're so great at hiding. And a really great form of camouflage is being the same color as the rocks and the dirt that you live near. Like these big guys that are hanging out on the left side. Let's get a better view. This one's easier to see up ahead. So up on that ridge on the left, a rhino.
Oh my gosh.
We'll keep coming to get a better view. But that there is a black rhinoceros. When fully grown, the black rhino will be over 3,000 pounds. And they are the more territorial species of rhino, so they do like to be alone. So he's hanging out by the rocks there. He does kind of look like one of those rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Now the black rhinoceros, again, they're one of those more territorial species, but if they come together in groups, it's usually at a watering hole. But continue looking to your left as we come around the bamboo here.
Is that a camel?
The bamboo.
Oh.
These lighter tan antelope, these are the greater kudu. And they are female. Male kudus will get long spiral horns on their heads. But with the forest behind us, we're heading into the Safi River Flats. Here in the river, these animals love the water. It's a great source of food and protection. Just around the river bend.
Oh gosh.
And there's lots of different birds.
Look at these guys.
So these ones on the log, those are egret, but further down on the island,
They got like wedding veils.
They get their name because the skin on their backs turns blush pink during mating season. And
Oh
they are one of
gosh.
the smaller species of pelican, but they can still get a wingspan up to 9 feet wide.
He's like, I'm not letting you go.
Egret in the road. Excuse us. But if you look to your left
He just
behind
chills.
the island, hippos.
Just hippos.
The Nile hippopotamus. And a group of hippos like this is called a bloat. Now it kind of looks like that hippo's swimming, but hippos don't actually swim. They sink themselves down to the bottom of the river
Oh my
floor
gosh.
and walk or run across.
He's down in there.
But hippos, they are known for being
Huh?
very, very territorial. They like their space. It's usually the males that are more territorial than the females are, unless, of course, there's a baby.
Oh, I want to walk across that.
But further down on the left, I see some carnivores. Over by that rock wall, Nile crocodiles.
Oh wow, crocodile.
When fully grown, Nile crocodiles are anywhere from 10 to 15 feet long, though some of the biggest on record are closer to 20.
They don't eat those birds?
And they are different from alligators. They tend to get bigger. They also have a different shaped snout. And their teeth, they stick out on the bottom as well, so they have a more toothy grin. But it does look like the trees are starting to open up ahead of us. That means we're getting close to the savannah. And in the Serengeti grasslands, these animals migrate. It means they travel long distances, especially during the drought months, to find that good source of water. But a great source is actually actually a plant. And it's this tree up here on the right. The baobab tree. Also known as the tree of life. And you saw a really big one when you first came into the park today. Now it's called the tree of life because it holds and absorbs that water really well. So during the drought months, the animals will come to it to get that water out. Elephants especially love it. They'll use their tusks to puncture the tree bark. Kind of like what we do with a juice box and a straw. But as you come down the hill, there's lots of different animals migrating around. And we'll get a good look at all of them. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
We can already see over to the right, there's a few of the wardens. But behind the warden's truck, some wildebeest. And, real tough to see, there's a giraffe there as well. But we'll come around to get a better view. I also see some movement just up ahead here.
Look at these guys, they're right by the road. I need to grab his horn.
So as we come around the bushes, get ready to look over to your left.
Oh, hyenas.
There's the African painted dogs, also known as the African wild dogs.
They're so cute.
Hyenas.
And they are the most successful pack hunting predator. They have an 80% success rate when they hunt. Now they do sometimes get mistaken for hyenas.
Guys.
They look very similar, but hyenas, they are their own species. They're neither a cat nor a dog. But this pack of painted dogs here, it is a pack of brothers.
Basically the same
They're all
thing.
boys.
Look at these guys. Look at the horns on them. Just chilling in the road.
But just in front of us here with these massive horns, these are the Ankoli cattle. And they're some of the oldest known domesticated cows. They can be traced back over 6,000 years, back to the Egyptians. But he is kind of blocking the road here, so we got to give him a second to get out of the way.
This giraffe. There's a giraffe.
Now also up ahead here, there's a giraffe. Now again, the giraffes on the reserve, they are Maasai giraffes, named after the Maasai tribe.
Oh no, now another one.
Different species of giraffes, they do have different spots. Maasai giraffes, their spots are a little more rough and rugged around the edges. And it does look like giraffes have horns, but those are actually called ossicones. And they're made of cartilage, just like our ears. But we can see the warden coming up on the right over there, getting ready to come help out with these Ankoli cattle. But the Ankoli cattle and the giraffes, they actually have something in common. They are ruminants. It means they have a more complex digestive system. And they produce what's called a cud. That's what they're chewing on all day long.
Oh, he's moving. He's moving. He finally moved.
The giraffes, they do spend about 16 hours of their day eating and grazing. But they also have what's called a prehensile tongue. It's a long, strong tongue of bluish purple color.
Look, it's eating
They
that one.
can get
Is
up to 18 inches long. For us adults, that's from the tip of our middle finger to the crease of our elbow. But when first born, Maasai giraffes, they're just shy of 6 feet tall. And then when fully grown, they're closer to 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
And because they are so tall, a herd of giraffes is called a tower.
Oh, there's another one.
But
Three
they
of
do
them.
just about everything standing
Four.
up. They'll eat standing up, they'll sleep standing up, they'll even get birds standing up. And there's a 6-foot drop. 6 giraffes.
There's 6. Oh yeah.
But we are getting closer to some more giraffes and wildebeest.
Oh my God,
up
there's
ahead.
another one over there.
So
yeah?
wildebeest, they do have the largest of migrating herds, especially during the drought months, during the Great Migration. Their herds can get over 1.5 million wildebeest. But another good name for the wildebeest is the gnu, G-N-U. That's because it kind of sounds like they say it. They go. Now, kind of tough to see because they are smaller. But over to the right, by the tall grass, behind the giraffe, there's some smaller tan antelope. Those are the springbok. And springbok, they can leap ahead
white
of
bellies.
13 feet. Help them to escape any other
13.
predators. But we do want to be sure we're staying fully seated throughout our journey today, friends. Perfect. Well, as you can see so far, the savannah's home to animals of all different shapes and sizes. Now, just up ahead, I think I see the largest land animal.
Yep.
Good eye. Up on the right,
Is Big
the
Red?
African bush elephant. Now, this here is the dominant bull on the reserve, male elephant. He's my favorite. He's just shy of 13,000 pounds.
Oh,
Huge.
13.
Now, he's also 42.
Wow.
Elephants, they live well
They
into their
need to be.
60s and 70s. But the bulls like him, they do like to be alone, though they can form smaller groups called bachelor herds. The females stay together in larger family herds. That's to protect their young. But hopefully we get a good look at the rest of the herd up ahead. There are 10 elephants on the reserve.
10? Holy crap.
But it's pretty interesting. Even though they are so big, elephants are afraid of something really small.
Ants. Ants. They hate ants.
Of bees.
Oh, and ants.
Yeah, that little bug. They don't like the sound that they make, and they don't want to get stung either. But they actually found that out because a few years back, farmers in Africa, they were having a tough time keeping elephants out of their fields. So sadly, they turned to poachers to keep them out. But Disney, they heard about this, and they were determined to help out. So the animal programs team, the wardens that we see, they partnered together with Oxford University, and they started studying the elephants on this reserve. Just like that big guy. And they noticed he wouldn't go anywhere near beehives. He could hear them buzzing around and would steer clear. So, as a last-ditch effort to help save the elephants in Africa, they took that information and created a beehive fencing for the farmers to put up around the fields. And it worked.
There's some more.
The next time migrating season came around and the elephants came to town, they heard the bees and walked around. And now today it's a super popular conservation effort called the Elephants and Bees Project. Now we are seeing part of the female herd on the left here. But it's really cool. All the elephants we see today had a big role in helping save elephants all around the world. All because of bees. Now it also looks like they're having some breakfast. A full-grown elephant, they can eat up to 300 pounds of food a day. But that does mean they produce about 100 to 200 pounds of waste. Oh, look over your left shoulder back there. She just came
Oh,
out.
baby.
There's a baby elephant. Can everyone see her back there? Kind of look towards their feet. Baby elephant.
There you go.
Flamingos. And these are the greater flamingos. They're the lightest pink and biggest of all flamingos. They do get their color from their diet, usually brine, shrimp, or even algae that they eat. And because of their coloring, a flock of flamingos is called a
This guy's going in.
Now these are the white rhinoceros. We saw the black rhino, their cousin, back in the forest. But white rhinos, they'll get over 5,000 pounds, so a whole ton bigger. They are the second largest land animal behind elephants. And as you can see, they're a lot more social than the black rhino. But they are one of those endangered species. So Disney, they participate in what's called the scared animals, bring their numbers back up, and in the right cases, they can be released into the wild. But good news, it's working. If you were to go on another safari in Africa, you could see some wild rhinos and cheetahs.
Right up there.
Now there are 3 cheetahs standing right there. They are triplets, the cheetah girls. Looks like they're about to go have some breakfast. But obviously cheetahs are known for being very fast. The lions. A lion's roar can be heard over 5 miles away.
Wow.
But the word Simba in Swahili means lion.
I knew it.
And speaking of Simba, that big guy there is actually the model for Simba in the newest Lion King. He's a superstar and he knows it. Look at him.
He's like,
But the lioness, the female, they do the majority of the hunting, while the males will stay behind to protect the rest of the pride, including any young cubs. But she is the better hunter because she is smaller. So when fully grown, that male can get up this here, up on the right on the hillside. There's a water buck. And you would never guess it, but water bucks love water. And they do have longer hair than other types of antelope, and they secrete this greasy, oily substance out of their skin.
Look at
Helps make that hair of
ostrich.
theirs practically waterproof.
The ostrich coming around the corner.
Let's come around the rocks here. There's quite a few more animals coming in. Now we also talked about how the animals, they like to migrate and move around. Those water bucks, they do not. They like to stay put. Especially if they already found that good source of water. Now kind of tough to see, but on the left over that log,
Oh yeah.
Pumbaa, some warthogs. Now since Simba means lion, you would think Pumbaa means warthog, but Pumbaa actually means foolish one. And that's not very nice. Warthogs are very, very
Those are
smart.
ugly guys.
Just like up ahead, as well as the largest of the birds, ostriches. Now the ones we're seeing so far, these are female ostriches. Females have gray feathers, males have black feathers. Well, look at those powerful legs that she has. That's what helps her to run over 45 miles per hour.
Look at her.
Oh,
She's
no,
like,
on top of the Lord in his car. Nigerian dwarf goats. They have the best personalities. They're so loved. But do you also see the yellow post in the middle of the yard with that triangular piece kind of hanging? That's that beehive fencing that we were talking about. That's what keeps the elephants out of the fields. But the goats, they're also helpful in the fields. They do eat just about anything. So farmers can let them out before they plant crops, and they'll eat any of those grasses or other plants to clear it out. They also produce a sweet milk, and it's a great